and today we have a fun video. We are going to do a full face of the most luxurious makeup that I own. Now, before we jump into this, I did want to let you know that if you are someone who gets bothered by the amount of money someone spends on makeup, this is probably not the channel for you. So you might as well exit out here because this is a lot of money. I love makeup. It is my favorite thing in the world, other than my family and my friends and my animals. It's just who I am. I love it. I get it as gifts. Everything in here was either a gift from my husband or just something that I've purchased. Now, not everything was full price, but a lot of it was. And I'm gonna give you the price of each item as we go if you wanna run a total to see what you think, or if you wanna leave your guesses down below to how much this full face cost, let me know. Now, we're gonna do this in order just like I always do. We're gonna start off with eyes. Now, eyeshadow primer, I am using the NARS Tinted Smudge Proof Eyeshadow Base in Light. This is the same cost as my Natasha Denona one, which are the most expensive ones I have in my collection, and they both retail for $26 each. I am trying to use up the NARS one, so that's what we are doing. That's why I decided to use that one today. But yeah, just to kind of give you a heads up on what this is about. And I am excited because my husband got me some new luxury items for my birthday. So I am so excited because my husband knows how much I love makeup, and he supports my makeup journey completely because I support his makeup journey. I support his video game journey. You know, we both have our habits that we like that are expensive, and you know, it is what it is. So next I'm using the e.l.f. eyeshadow tapes. I don't have anything more expensive. These are $3. I didn't include them in the pricing of my list, but I do know how much they are because I literally purchase them all the time. So I have brushes to use. This is my most expensive brushes. I mean, I have some Wayne Goss and some others that are thrown in my other collection, but part of my birthday gift, my husband bought me the Sonia G Fusion brush set, which these puppies retail for $225 plus tax. So we're gonna use those. And then I also have my Artiste brushes. And this set I think is about $400, $400 or $500. I can't remember because they went down in price since I've purchased it. But they're great brushes. So right there, we're already getting up there. Because if you want to include the brushes in the cost, you know, that's about $600 worth of brushes. So we have a couple of different things to use for eyeshadow, and we'll kind of go over what I chose and why I chose it. So first thing is my actual most expensive palette. And the way I chose my makeup out of my collection, I didn't choose palettes, I didn't choose duos. I kept it to choosing single items other than eyeshadow palettes because I don't really have any matte eyeshadow singles. So I have my Natasha Denona Star palette, which is the most expensive palette I own, and this is $169. This is what she looks like. As you can see, she is well loved. I have used her a bunch. I've had her for years. But for my birthday, my husband got me Christian Louis Vuitton makeup. So this is the set with the eyeshadow that you pop in and out. Now, everything about this is so luxe, the packaging and all that. So when you look inside the box, it has a little doomaflachi to pop out the eyeshadow from the bottom. This is absolutely stunning and gorgeous. And on the bottom, it does have the Christian Louis Vuitton logo. I'm from Texas, if you can't tell. So there's a bit of twang in my talk. So if that bothers you. So we'll pop this out so I can tell you. So you can change this. There's either 2 different face palettes and I think 3 different eyeshadow palettes. And you can get the outside case in either black or red. This is the La palette with 6 eyeshadow colors. And this is the Rouge Follies. So this comes separately from each other, but when you add them together, it is really expensive. together this is $156, and each piece by itself I think is $68 each between the eyeshadow and the case. But to me, you really can't use the eyeshadow without the case because you have to have both. It is what it is. So if you add that up, this would be more expensive per shadow. And I wanted to have more than one palette because this has one matte. And then I also grabbed one of my Natasha Denona multi-chrome eyeshadows. This is Scarab. This is the Chromium Liquid Eyeshadow, and these retail, these are the most expensive liquid eyeshadows I have in my collection, and these are $28 each. But, as I said, I wanted something fun. So, we're just gonna do pretty much a neutral basic eye and then kind of go from there. I haven't used these Artiste brushes for like eyeshadow before, so we're gonna see how this goes, because I feel like the Sonia G brushes that I have are great, but I need, you know, I need regular eyeshadow brushes, at least to start with. So, and these are gorgeous. And there are some regular eyeshadow brushes in there. So we're gonna start off with, I don't even know what these shades are. I cut the thing that had the shades in it off, so we're gonna go very nude. So let's go in with this shade from the Star palette. Let's see how this goes on. Okay, I feel like this is a little big for my eye, that brush. But I've had this Natasha Denona palette for a few years. I think 2016 when it came out. I think it was before I even started YouTube. And it is the first Natasha Denona palette I had. I skipped over the 28 pans because I've always been into color. I was scared to use color beforehand. So we're just applying that all over the lid. And as you can see, the Artiste brushes are really good at it. The Artiste brushes are really nice. The only problem that I have with them is sometimes they're very hard to clean because the hairs that are in them, the fibers, because they're like, they're not, what is it? They're not cruelty free. They're synthetic fibers. Had to think. Okay, so now I'm gonna grab the Sonia G, what brush is this? The Worker. And I'm gonna go a little bit deeper. What do I want to go to? We're gonna go into this brown right here. I mean, and as you can see, for an older palette, this still works beautifully. So we're just creating some dimension. Not doing anything super fancy with the eyes. I mean, you don't really have to. But yeah, that's what we're doing. See how beautifully that blends? Oh, that's a good brush. I wish it was a little bit smaller, but I've kind of stayed away from most of the Sonia G brushes. I think that they're beautiful, but they're not my favorite until they came out with these, because this is like my style of handle, all that kind of stuff. And if I'm gonna spend luxury makeup prices on makeup brushes, I want them to be perfect. And the two sets that they have at this point were just not my favorites. I'm gonna grab, this is just a BH brush. This is just a cheap eyeshadow brush to kind of blend over the edges, because I do feel like this set is lacking that, and I don't feel like I can do that as well with the Artiste brushes, like at all. Okay, and I guess I should swatch this Louis Vuitton palette. So I did feel the matte. So the matte black does feel, see how nice and soft that is? They don't feel bad. They feel nice and soft. I mean, do I think that they're overpriced? Yes. I don't, like with Natasha Denona, especially because if you can get her stuff on sale, I don't feel like it's overpriced. I love the quality of hers, but for me, this is something you have because it's Louis Vuitton, and it's kind of basic. It's pretty, and I appreciate my husband getting it for me, which is the most important part. It's just, I like something with a tad bit more impact. So now I'm gonna go into, this is the Builder from Sonia G, and we're gonna go into that black shade from the Louis Vuitton palette. See, that's a good black. And we're just gonna create a smoky eye, you know? A good smoky eye. And you know, I should have probably grabbed a different one of the chromium eyeshadows, because I was like, I'm going to wear green today, and then I forgot to wear green. So I don't know if that's going to go with the look, but there are some pink ones. So that's what I may do. I may go grab a different one, something that has a little bit different color in it. But I mean, like the Stila Glitter and Glows, I have a bunch of those. Those are $24 each. I think the Twin Flames from Danesso Myricks are $25 each, and I own all of those. So, I mean, as I said, there's a lot. Give me a second, I'll be right back. I'm gonna go grab a different chromium, and then we'll be applying it. I'm back, and I grabbed the shade Infra Nude. I like these. These are the way I like multi-chromes from Natasha Denona. I like these better than the Trio Chrome palette. I mean, I don't think the Trio Chrome palette's bad. It's just that I think that these are better. And I haven't tried a whole lot of brands liquid multi-chromes because they're pretty pricey. Now, I bought all 5 of the Natasha Denona ones, but I have the powdered ones, and liquid eyeshadows tend to expire quicker and dry out really fast. So it's like, why would I spend the money? Or at least that's how I look at it. So you see how easy that is to apply? I mean, it really just doesn't get much better than that. I think it looks good. But, you know, $26 a piece is pretty expensive. So I'm gonna take that black again from the Christian Louboutin palette and build up that outside crease while I'm letting the liquid shadow on my eyelid dry, because, you know, that's what you do. And I'm gonna take that BH brush and just kind of blend over the edges. But I do have some blending brushes from Wayne Goss, and those suckers are so nice. But, you know, it is what it is. Free tap just right there. Just trying to get using this with these liquid eyeshadows. I haven't used them in forever, and they're still really nice, and like, I don't know, they're good. They're very good. Now, while we're doing this, I did want to remind you I am doing a birthday giveaway that I'm going to announce the winner on the 24th live. I will link the video up here. So make sure if you want to enter to go and comment on that video. I also have a post on Instagram. So what I'm going to do is go between the both of them, create a list, and then do a random drawing of it. So this is what we are working with. I think it looks really pretty. I think it looks really, really pretty. So, I mean, we're going for smoky, but it has still that grunge that is so much traditional me. And that's part of it. Like, I like luxury, but I want luxury that works for what I like. So there are certain brands that I definitely tend to lean towards. So we're gonna put on some mascara. This is the Tom Ford Badass Mascara, and the full size of this retails for $46. Now, I did use up my Chantecaille, which was the most expensive mascara I owned, and that is $73 for the Faux Solis from Chantecaille. I did not think it was worth it. Most of the time, I don't think expensive mascara is worth it. This was a gift from a friend of mine, Ashley Willard. She is so, so awesome. And I like this mascara. Now I do, if this isn't expensive enough for you, like because it's not a full size, I do have a full size of the Pat McGrath Dark Star and the Gucci mascara. They're just not open yet. I try not to keep too many mascaras open at a time. And see how nice that looks on the eyelashes? Like that does do something. Which is surprising because, you know, it doesn't always. So, there we go. So, while that's drying before we put on our lashes, we're going to use my most expensive face primer, and that is the Gucci Serum de Beauté. Now, I know that there are other primers that are expensive. Bobbi Brown, if you buy the biggest size of the face base, that one's expensive. But this one's $67, so it is considered my most expensive if I'm not buying like a jumbo size. It smells good. It smells like roses. It's been a while again since I've used this. I've got so much makeup. That's part of the reason why these kind of videos are important for me to do, is because I have so much makeup that it's the only way I'm going to get makeup used. So I typically wear the Eylure Accent number 5, tiny little lashes, and they are $5 a pair. They're cheap. So I ordered, because they had these on sale at Ulta. These are the Tarte Maneater Accent lashes. These are completely vegan. If you see, they're pretty. So they're the same kind of style that I like. They're a little bit different. So we're going to try these today. Now, these are $12 lashes. They're not expensive. I know that there are tons of brands that do much more expensive lashes than that. I just have a certain style and shape and size of lashes that I like. So I don't really defer from it. You know, if I get lashes, like I'll try different styles, but if they're too big, they go to Nadia, like almost automatically, because I just cannot do it. And I'm not sure if these are going to work because they have a pretty thick little lash band on them for being as filtered and fine as they are, I guess, because like you can see, they're pretty wispy. This has mascara in it, but this is the lash that I typically use. So you see that there's more lash hairs on this one than this, but the band is much thicker. So I don't know if we're going to like this or not. We will find out. If I can open my lash color. And then this is just, I'm not opening a fresh bottle of lash glue full size of anything. I'm just using the Eylure Accent number 5 because I don't want to open stuff just because it's expensive, you know what I mean? Unless it's something I'm going to actually use. So, let's apply this. This is, I don't know. Oh, that's not bad. Okay. The thing with lashes are, for me, it's like getting them in the right place. Because I'm not one to wear a lot of heavy liner. I don't like thick, heavy liner on myself. So I'd want lashes that end in the right spot so that way I don't have to wear thick liner. I don't like to hide a lash band. That type of thing. I don't know. These don't want to go on. You know what? We're just going to go back to our regular lashes. Because, I don't know. I just can't do it. I just can't do it. Maybe it's me. Maybe it's Maybelline. I don't know. I know, like, my daughter, Nadia, y'all have seen her, and she has a channel. I will try to remember to link her. If not, she is in like my list of channels kind of thing. But she wears beautiful, beautiful big lashes all the time. That's who I give like all the lashes. Like if I get a set that has lashes that I can't see how natural that looks. That's the thing about it. I want fuller, longer looking lashes, but I want them to look natural. I want them to look like my lashes, but better, you know? Because I mean, you can see the difference lashes make. It's kind of crazy, but yeah. Nadia loves the big lashes and can wear them. I just feel like a clown whenever I try to wear them. They just get super heavy and I don't know. It's just, I am what I am. See? I mean, look how easily that just applied. And plus, this is what I always do. Like, I go off camera because I do lots of eyeshadow palette reviews and tutorials. But when I go off camera to do my face, I put on my primer, let it soak in, and while I'm doing that, I put on my lashes because I like them to set before I go and curl them with my natural lashes. I mean, look at that. Perfect. Perfect, perfect. That's the kind of lash I like. But that's what I do. So, at the CCO the other day, I found in my shade, this is the Tom Ford Shade and Illuminate Foundation. This is a $150 foundation. I paid 10 bucks for it, but it's awesome. It does have sunscreen in it, and I thought the La Mer was going to be the most expensive foundation I own, but technically this is it. I have it in this shade 7.5 Shell Beige. So we're going to apply this all over the face. I'm kind of going in a little thin. I haven't used this before. I did test it to make sure it was going to be right for me. Because when I was looking at shades, I mean, you know, on camera I look lighter than I actually am in person. And people are like, that can't be your right shade. But a lot of times it actually is. So we're just applying this all around the face. But $150 for a foundation is so expensive. I typically, for products that are skin related, stuff like this, I don't spend a lot of money on. I mean, like I'll spend 50, 60 bucks, but that's typically about my max for a foundation. But my friend Aileen has that foundation and talks about how beautiful it is. We're gonna use, this is the Artiste, I think this is the Oval 6 or 7, because the 10 to use it as a foundation brush is like the size of my face. It doesn't really work out well, but this is a great size. And the Artiste brushes for foundation are absolutely amazing. Like, they blend foundation like nobody's business. Oh, that is beautiful on the skin, isn't it? That is a beautiful, beautiful foundation on the skin. There is a little bit of perfume to it. Trying to think of what it smells like, because like the more I smell the Gucci, the more I smell like the roses. The Tom Ford smells different. But I will tell you this, a lot of times I do have, like, I can hardly find a foundation that matches me at the drugstore. There's a lot of brands in luxury that I can't find a foundation that matches me in either, but I do have better luck with the mid-tier ranges because, like, for some reason, and maybe I'm wrong for thinking this way, let me know what y'all think, but whenever I look for a foundation, I have a very neutral undertone, neutral/olive. So finding something that is actually neutral in drugstore is almost impossible. Now, ColourPop does have it. I really like how this looks on the skin. I mean, I think it's really, really pretty on the skin. And it has good coverage. It's a medium coverage, I would say. It's covering up my redness, covering up my hyperpigmentation pretty well. Blends into my neck, which is always a plus. It has almost a baby powder smell. It has a very clean spa-like scent. You know what I'm saying? That makes sense. So that's what it looks like on the skin. Isn't that pretty? Okay, so I think before we do concealer, we're gonna go ahead and do a cream contour. So we're gonna use, this is the Charlotte Tilbury Contour Wand, and this retails for $38. This is the shade Light Medium. I have no idea once it's blended out how it's gonna work on me right now because I am deeper than when I bought it. But you know, it is what it is. Gotta apply. Okay, so we're gonna grab another Artiste brush and blend that in, because from what I've been told, the Sonia G's that I have are for powder products and not cream products. So now, the one thing about the Artiste brushes I will say that I don't like is they can be a little draggy because they are so densely packed. But, I mean, it really does do an amazing job of blending in cream products without giving, like, anything crazy about it, if that makes sense. So there we go. And that's the printer doing its cleaning thing. There's not much I can do about it, just so you know. So now I'm gonna take, this is just a tiny little Artiste brush, and we're going to contour out our nose. I don't typically contour my nose a lot, but I figured today we could. Because this is the perfect, these brushes are perfect if you're trying to contour your nose. This is, I forget what this one's called. Does it say on here? Linear 3. But you can see how well that just, I mean, like that was no effort whatsoever to do a nose contour. Just doesn't get any better than that. So I always turn this off because I've heard that it leaks. You can turn it on and off, but I always store it standing up too. But $38 for a contour wand is expensive, but it does look beautiful on the skin. Let me go ahead and, I forgot to do, I'm not adding any more product, but I am going to, like I'm not adding any more to the open thing, but I am going to use what's left on there and blend it out. So, because I do like, and to me, this actually does work as kind of both contour and bronzer, but we are going to be using powder products because I can't go without using powder products. Let's slim out the jaw. You can kind of see what I mean. I mean, like this, just see how well all that just blended in? Not bad. Not bad at all. My skin is looking really good. Or at least I think it's looking really good. Which always makes me happy. I like to have good skin. Okay. Go in. I did miss a little bit of spot right by my eyebrows because these brushes are huge. Okay, so now let's go ahead and do some concealer. So my most expensive concealer I own is the Pat McGrath Labs. What is this concealer? I think it's like the Skin Fetish Sublime Perfection Concealer. So I have two shades. I think I'm gonna go in with Light Medium 14 because I think Light 5 is way too light for me right now. This is an amazing concealer. Just so you know, actually I think I might do a little bit of both. Kind of mix it together because I think I need a little bit of brightness added. Oh. But this is an amazing concealer. The one thing, and I love that it's luxe, and I love that it's in a glass container, but for my clumsy hiney, glass is typically not the way to go. Okay, so I'm just mixing those two shades together because I like a brightening concealer. See, there we go. I knocked it over. Knocked it over. Didn't break it, thank goodness. So, we're gonna grab, this is the Oval 6, and let's blend in our concealer. And one of the tricks I learned from Lisa J. Why aren't you spraying? See if my Charlotte Tilbury, did it come apart on the inside? Let me pause this. I'm back. There's something wrong with my pump for my Charlotte Tilbury setting spray, which that retails for $35. So we're just gonna use MAC Fix Plus. It's what I have right here that's open. So Charlotte, if you use some setting spray when you're using it to blend out your concealer, it really does help. Like Lisa J showed that trick and I was like, that is ingenious. It works so, so well. So now I just let it sit for too long doing all the rest of it. So let's grab my sponge and blend it out. Anyways, so there we go. That's better. And I'm removing my coverage. Just a little bit. Let's go ahead and blend that out. So it's like today nothing wants to work. I don't know how it is for y'all, but it's like, come on y'all. Give me something to work with. The sponge is doing much better with this concealer than the Artiste brushes. Anyway, but that's how it goes sometimes. Okay, so I'm going to take a little bit more of the Pat McGrath concealer because I have a bumpy right here and it pulled away my coverage. So let's add a little bit more to it. Okay, that's good. That's much better. And see how pretty that looks on the skin? I really, really, really like that. Okay. Let's go into some powder products. So first off, for my under eyes, we're going to use the Pat McGrath Labs. This is the under eye setting powder in the shade medium. As you can see, it's partially missing because I dropped it and I broke the dome. So we're just going to grab a BH brush to do this with. We're going to use that to set under the eyes. I love this as an under eye setting powder. But it's not the only powder I'm going to use today. But this one retails for $30. Okay? Look how pretty. I am loving my skin today. Now, we're gonna go into the Tatcha setting powder. And this is the Radiant Translucent Setting Powder. I got that in a Trend Mood box. So this retails for $48. The Trend Mood box was $50 and it had a bunch of other stuff in it. So I was excited because I wanted to try this, but I didn't want to buy just this by itself. So we're just gonna go into a dense powder brush and set my face. Tatcha makes amazing products. Absolutely amazing. Just in case you're wondering. Okay. I feel like I'm all over the place today, y'all. I'm sorry. But I enjoy makeup. This makes me so happy. It's just other than the Charlotte Tilbury spray, I'm just going to have to get another spray. So, there we go. Now we can go into our bronzer, blush, highlight. So, for bronzer, my most expensive bronzer is the Gucci bronzer. And this retails for $62, I think. Yes, $62. I have the shade number 2. And it is actually one bronzer that, like Gucci, like their shade 2 actually works on my skin, and that doesn't happen a lot. I'm going to use the Sonia G base brush for bronzer. Oh, that does do a good job with bronzer. Like that is the perfect shape to do bronzer and not get too crazy with it. I like this brush. I like this brush a whole lot. This might be my new favorite bronzer brush. But see how pretty that just, I mean, and it doesn't, because a lot of bronzer brushes, I think the issue is they're too full. I want something that's dense that will apply my product nicely, but I also don't want to look like a clown. But yeah, that does a beautiful, beautiful job with the bronzer. That's pretty. And it's not too heavy. As I said, Gucci's bronzer, the number 2, like I could go for a darker shade, but I also love the undertone of that bronzer because it is a little bit more cool toned and it works well with my neutral undertone. So you can see what that looks like blended in. Next up, my most expensive blush is, this is the Charlotte Tilbury Cheek to Chic blush in the Climax. This is what I always say is the booby blush because it does look like a booby. And this is $40. I was like shocked that Charlotte Tilbury blush was more expensive than Mama Pat. And I'm using the cheek brush from Sonia G. That's like airbrushing on. Isn't it? Isn't that pretty? I like this brush with it. That just blended out like nothing. Like literal nothing. But I bought this from, I think it was Charlotte Tilbury itself because they had like a 30% off sale. Okay, so now it's time for highlight. So we're gonna be using, this is the Bobbi Brown Luxe Gilded Highlighter, and this is my most expensive highlighter, and this is $50. Packaging isn't really all that luxe. I figured it would have been a Charlotte Tilbury. I mean, like, 'cause I have some Chantecaille products, and that probably could have worked, but that's not what I used. So we're gonna go in with the Sonia G Detail Brush. And we're going to apply that highlight to the tops of our cheekbones. Now, this is a $50 highlight. I didn't pay that much for it. I bought it at the CCO, part of their 6 for $60. So it's like with the Tom Ford, I paid $10 for it. That is a pretty highlight though. And I haven't tried much from Bobbi Brown, but I am wanting to try more. Okay, what do you think? I think we're getting there. We're starting to cook with gas. But don't you just love a good highlight? Okay, so before we do a whole lot else, I am going to go into the Chantecaille. This is the Blur Powder. This is my finishing powder. It's my favorite powder. And this retails for $84. And yes, on a daily basis, I use multiple powders because I feel like they're good for different things. And I have very normal skin, and I dropped this and broke that edge off. I'm gonna have to replace that sooner than what I was wanting. But I mean, you can see that I have used quite a bit of product in it. I mean, this is a great, great, great powder. Look how phenomenal my skin looks. I mean, it just doesn't get much better than that, does it? At least not in my opinion. Okay, so let's go for brows. So for brows today, we're gonna kind of mix some products. I have first off the Charlotte Tilbury. This is the Brow Lift, and this retails for $35. So we're gonna use the Brow Lift to fill in the brows, and then I've got another thing to kind of work with this too. So I'm just gonna blend those in. I don't like a harsh brow, but I like a full brow. I'm glad that I am not stuck. Like some people I know, they have to go in and draw their brows because after years of 90s brows and early 2000 brows and of getting it waxed and plucked that way, their hair just doesn't grow back. And I'm like, thank goodness mine did, because I can do a fuller brow. Because I don't think I would ever be able to get my brows anywhere close to being even if I had to like try to draw them in myself. Okay, so as you can see, that's pencil's not the best, it's not the worst. I don't like a pencil that is that thick, in my opinion, just not my favorite kind of pencil. I prefer one that's micro. And then I'm not sure if you know this, but this does kind of split one more time. And this is why it's considered the brow lift. You use this little spongy applicator and it applies highlight. It's perfect for getting highlight under your brow bone. And you can see how much more lifted that side looks than the other. And I'm sure you could almost use that spongy brush in any kind of product. But I'm sure that this will run out before anything else because, like, that's the pencil side. You know, it's just not much space. So there's that. And now I'm going to grab, this is my Gucci eyeshadow pencil, and then I have the shade Auburn and I have brown. But since this isn't just brown, this is Brune. Since my eyebrows are dark and my hair is lighter, I'm going to go in with the Auburn and to add a little bit of dimension to it. And I have been using my Urban Decay Brow Blade to kind of do the same kind of thing where I use like the pencil to fill it in, and then there's like a flicky pen to add to it. So, but I do like the Gucci brow pencil formula. I think it is very, very nice. It's not too stiff. It's not too, because sometimes you get brow pencils that are too waxy or they're too stiff, and this is just kind of like perfect. And I do like that you can sharpen it to get a really nice point on it. And the Gucci pencils are how much? I don't know if I told you. The Gucci brow pencils are $35. So actually they are more expensive. I forgot. Okay. So this is what we're looking like so far. So now we're going to go ahead and add some waterline eyeliner. I have the Tom Ford Eye Kohl pencil in metallic moss. I love a green. Again, this was a gift from my friend Ashley. And the eyeliner is, how much is it? $39. So this is the most expensive pencil eyeliner I have. I don't have a lot of liquid eyeliner. I don't use liquid eyeliner. So we're using this. There we go. See how well that just kind of goes in there? I love Tom Ford. Tom Ford, at least to me, has some really good luxury makeup. So we're gonna take now and use our builder from Sonia G and go back into the black from the Christian Louboutin eyeshadow. And we're just going to apply that towards the edges. I don't want to bring that depth in too much. And then I'm going to use the worker from Sonia G with whatever is left of that medium shade and blend those together and make sure it's really smoked out. I love a good smoky under eye. I have said that a million times. I like a grungier eye look. I love a smoky eye look. I'm not much for basic, I guess. So look how pretty that looks. I'm loving that. Okay, so for inner corner highlight, I think we're gonna take something from here. We're gonna go into this shade. I don't even know what it's called. We're gonna use one of these little round brushes from Artis. And that applied a lot of shadow, didn't it? We're gonna apply a little bit more and then we're gonna blend it out. Blend, blend, blend. I love to blend eyeshadow. Eyeshadow is my favorite thing in the world. It really is. Like, I don't know. Okay, where's the Tom Ford mascara? There it is. Let's apply some mascara. Oh, you know what I forgot? I forgot my lip balm. Bring me some Tom Ford lip balm. This again was a gift from my friend Ashley. I don't have the price for this, but I have like the Gucci lip balm. I have some Yves Saint Laurent. So I could have used several different ones. It was just that one was sitting right there. But that's so, so nice. Okay. The only thing I don't like about this mascara, since it is a sample size, like a deluxe size sample, is it's hard to get into your lap because this little brush is so stubby. It's so stubby, but it's okay. Okay, let's give myself some setting spray. Just imagine it's the Charlotte Tilbury. I bought this fan at the Dollar Tree, and it is great for keeping around for doing dryness, like my setting spray. It's awesome. And I think that's probably my favorite part right now, is I think my skin looks phenomenal. Now, let's do some lips. So, for lips, my most expensive lip liners are, this is the Pat McGrath Labs Permagel Ultra, and this is in the shade Living Legend. And these retail for $28. $28 for a lip pencil. And I have a bunch of these. Mama Pat is definitely one of my favorite luxury brands. No, she is my favorite. Natasha Denona is second. And I also really love Gucci because I love that their stuff's a little on the unique side. Tom Ford's pretty good. And Chantecaille. I mean, like, I like Charlotte Tilbury. I like Charlotte Tilbury for her face products more than I do her color products, like, if that makes sense. Now, the most expensive lipstick I own, this is the Gucci satin lipstick. I have the shade Susan Nude, so it's like a cool tone nude, and these retail for $42. I could have used, but they're not as expensive, my Mama Pat lipsticks, and those are $38 each, and I own a bunch. See, I love a good brownie tone nude, and it blends actually in with Living Legend to make because this can be a little nudie nude, if that makes sense, but I really like it. Okay, we are almost finished, y'all. The last thing that I need is lip gloss. So, this is another birthday gift from my husband. He bought me the Christian Louis Vuitton lip gloss. This retails for $85. And it's luxury. So, the shade that I have is, what color is this? Colibrita. So, and what's funny about it, it's like I was showing my husband, the bag that it goes in is shaped like the lip gloss. Like, I think I would have preferred, like, I mean, see how luxe that looks? Kind of looks like, I'm not going to say what it looks like. But I'm not a big fan of, like, the string and the tie-in, like, unless I'm going to use it for, like, a Christmas ornament. But she's beautiful. And she's very pink. So that's what we're going to use. As I said, see, she's very pink. Because I tried her the other day. It's not my favorite lip gloss formula by far. But the packaging from Christian Louis Vuitton is some of the best luxury packaging. Oh, I forgot about Dior too. I have a lot of Dior stuff, but it wasn't the most expensive when it comes to certain things. So, This is my full face of luxury makeup. What do you think of the look? I think it's gorgeous. I love everything about it. I think it looks stunning. At least that's what I think. I'm excited. So, without the brushes, this is $1,336 worth of makeup. With the brushes, you're looking at $2,000 retail for this. And that's not including tax or anything else like that. That's American dollars, and ours is 8%, 8.25% tax on it. So if I added tax, it would add a couple of $100. And there are a lot of products that I actually love in here. There are some favorites like Natasha Denona eyeshadows. I will let you know what I think of how the Tom Ford foundation wears. But I mean, so far, like, my skin looks amazing. I can't wait. I hope Sonia G does add more brushes to this Fusion line because, like, I think my skin looks absolutely amazing. And I like these brushes. Like, I don't know. I hope that she comes out with more because I do like this handle and I will buy all of them. But if you like this video, don't forget to leave a comment down below. Tell me what your favorite product is that you've tried out of, or tell me what your favorite luxury makeup product is in general, and then that might make me pick it up. But other than that, I guess that's it. We shall see y'all on Saturday the 25th to announce the winner of the birthday giveaway. But we'll see y'all later. Bye.